Versus goes inside the soul of a champion.
In sports, I don't think you can do things physically unless you've set them up mentally.
I see athletes who are very gifted, talent-wise, strength-wise, but yet they lack the mental toughness of the game to get them to greatness.
It may be the last frontier of discovery in athletic performance. What is inside the soul of a champion? For the best of the best, reaching the top of the sports world comes not just from physical talent, but from something deep inside.
It's just a mentality. It is, do you want to be the best or not? Are you driven by challenges or not? And most people aren't.
Dedication, hard work. Dedication, hard work. A fighter can come here and watch me every day and study my whole training and do everything I do and still won't be able to beat me because he's not mentally stronger than me.
What becomes the difference isn't the fast twitch muscles, isn't the work ethic. The issue that becomes critical are these skills, the 6 inches between your ears, your ability to concentrate, your ability to deal with adversity, your ability to do that last set in the weight room like it's the end of the game and the game's on the line.
For the Soul of a Champion series, we've decided to examine 4 basic mental skills that are common in champions: confidence, composure, competitiveness, and focus.
The problem with the mental game is it's not just mental. There's a body, there's emotion, there's spirit. And the closest that comes together for me is in the soul.
As we begin to explore the importance of a strong mind, we're learning that self-confidence, limiting doubt, fear, and insecurity is as important as physical exercise and a healthy diet.
I shook up the world. Bow to my feet. Tell me I am the great.
Ali was able to demonstrate before a fight took place that he was mentally superior to his opponents, so that so many of his opponents were beaten before they even stepped in the ring.
Self-confidence is an athlete's belief in their ability to execute. When Tiger Woods stands over a shot, he fully believes that the ball is going to the target.
But where did the greatest athletes acquire the confidence to be champions? How did they begin to believe?
Which came first, the confidence or the success? Did the success fuel the confidence? I think confidence comes from being prepared.
With levels of success comes confidence, but you also have to go deeper than just expecting to win every time. You have to know that you have prepared yourself for the competition.
We choose to be confident. If you can be focused on some of these other things besides just outcome, results, and focus on how you go about doing your work and did you do what you could do to give yourself that best opportunity for success, that's going to definitely help.
If you've done all that preparation, then you should have confidence in just that. You've done everything that you possibly can to play a good match.
I've learned it over the years. The harder I prepare, when I can go out there and feel very confident what I'm doing, usually we perform as a team much better.
Pretty boy Floyd, the one and only, lifestyle flashy, record, don't even worry about it. Undefeated. When it's another athlete that can go a decade without an L, then talk to me.
Undefeated as a professional and thought by many to be the best fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather exudes confidence.
I respect all the champions out there that's in boxing today, even the champions in the past, but my goal is to be the best ever, and I think I'm the best fighter ever.
Floyd lets that inner voice out. He's not concerned with the public persona, but he's aware that other people see him as cocky.
If you call it bragging or boasting, whatever you want to call it, I lived up to it. I beat everybody you put in front of me, and I'm gonna continue to beat everybody you put in front of me.
When he prepares for a fight, Floyd imagines how his opponents will counteract his speed in the ring. Visualization is just one technique in mental preparation.
Visualization is just a form of mental practice. It's a rehearsal of a story that you would like to be able to create some pathway to create a reality that isn't there now.
Visualization, I think, is great because it sort of puts you there already, so that when you do get there, you've done it.
There were certain players who would lay their uniform out where it looked like they could see themselves on the ground. And that was their mentality. They had to see themselves and visualize themselves getting prepared before they put it on. And then it was this image that clicked on really quick.
I think I visualize a lot. I think seeing things before it happens is the key to success.
You have to see yourself being successful. The Bible says a person without vision will perish. That means if you don't have a plan of action or plan for success, you plan to fail.
Competition is one of the reasons we play sports. We have within us an instinctive urge to prove we can run faster, jump higher, throw farther, and hit longer than the next guy. But competition is not just physical. Competition reveals inner strength or weakness. And now, experts and coaches believe competitiveness can be learned. Tom Brady is a prime example of today's ultra-competitive athlete. The two-time Super Bowl MVP has had that competitive nature within him dating back to his youth in Northern California.
I remember growing up and being a freshman in high school and always being last. I mean, we'd do races always last. And then going to college, and I was the slowest guy out there. And now I reached the NFL, and I'm not last anymore, but I'm running with guys who are much better athletes, and it's always pushed me to really achieve more and to try harder because, the harder I try, at least it gives me the satisfaction to know that I gave it my all.
It was his innate drive that led him to want to work harder and train harder and study harder so that all of the talents could synthesize into a fine athlete.
You can't achieve if you don't pay the price.
Composure under pressure. It's a beautiful thing. How do the greatest athletes figure out ways to work through the pressure? It's more than preparation.
I think success under pressure it's a lifestyle decision, and it's more than just, hey, 2 minutes left in the game on a Sunday afternoon in the fall. It's 6 months of training. It's practices in 2-a-days. It's, a meaningless 7-on-7 drill in August that you're competing like it is a 2-minute drill.
The most important dynamic in equipping someone to deal with big-time pressure is to help them to be fundamentally sound, a fully functioning human being, to get all the pieces right in the much bigger picture of life. If they're only kind of holding it together in the arena of sport, but the rest of their personal life, they're kind of a mess, it's going to spill over.
The top-level performers have the ability to compensate and adjust. So you learn to deal with the adversity instead of I got to stay away from the adversity because the adversity is going to be there.
I don't try to worry about things that I don't control. Going to the game, I don't worry about 50,000 people screaming or booing me. I don't worry about those things. I can't control those things.
There's nothing quite like an Olympic competition to test an athlete's composure. You saw Dr. Jim Lair earlier. I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Lair for 3 years leading up to my final Olympic Games. The 500 meters was my strength, the 1,000 meters was my weakness, and it was all up here. We worked 3 years on getting myself to believe that I liked the race, that I could win the race. We had no idea it would be my last chance, my last Olympic race, without a medal going in. I stepped to the line that day, I believed in myself, I loved the race, I won the gold medal. Say what you want about a sports psychologist, but count me as a believer. For many players, a lifelong focus is the key to success. But how do you develop focus?
Being focused is the number one essence of being successful.
You have to talk to yourself. Not crazy talk, but you have to talk yourself through certain things. Talk yourself into focusing. You can tell when you're not focused.
Athletes are very, very good at not multitasking and only focusing on one purpose.
The ways to achieve that much-needed focus are as varied as the athletes who desire it.
And then there were guys who would sit in their lockers with their towels over their head, and you just knew, don't bother them, they're trying to focus and concentrate. It's kind of like a meditation thing.
Every athlete's a little bit different in terms of how they prepare themselves for this battle of competition. And what we say, you need to figure that out. You have to have a routine, a sequence of things you do, and it starts with dressing rituals, what time you get up in the morning, what you eat, and how you maybe have private time or personal time before you go out there. Every one of those issues is critical for every great athlete. And that's a responsibility every athlete has to figure out, and you don't wing that.
The mental aspect, still losing the focus and letting things distract me, that plagued me for a long time, and I would still lose it even when I was winning everything. But then when you're a champion, you lose it for a lot less time than the other guy. It's hard work. You have to really pay attention to know that you're not focusing.
Now she's fired up now.
So even to know that you're not focusing, you have to be focused to know that you're not focusing. You know what I mean? Does it make sense?
One of the great focus training grounds is at West Point. There, athletes and soldiers undergo sophisticated performance enhancement training. One example, injured athletes use affirmation scripts, telling themselves and believing that healing is taking place. The Army reports that those who use the healing script recover 35% faster than those who do not. Tom Brady was once the 7th-string quarterback for the University of Michigan and buried on the New England Patriots bench. 3 Super Bowl victories later, he dispelled the myth that quarterbacks need seasoning to be champions.
I've always felt like I needed to do better and do more and continue to work.
Martina Navratilova has won more tennis matches than any player in the Open era. Over 1,400 match victories in singles and a combined 59 Grand Slam titles in singles and doubles. But as dominant as she was physically, it was the mental edge that put her over the top.
In the past, I always concentrated on the physical more. Being in the moment is the single most important thing in life.